OpenAI, they can just not stay out of the headlines. First, record IPO in the works, potentially giving a 5% stake to the Trump administration into their company. And now they're getting sued by Apple. Like, what is going on? So, former Apple engineer texts his friend who works at Apple and goes, haha, this is so funny. I walked away with my Apple laptop that they let me walk away with, and I still have access to Apple files on this computer. Well, what's the problem with that? Well, outside of the obvious access control problems, the problem Apple has is that he may have exfiltrated, allegedly, 1,000 confidential files. Oh, and did I mention that he works at OpenAI? So let's rewind to 2024 when OpenAI and Apple are working together. ChatGPT is built into the Apple iOS and everything looks good. That is until OpenAI decides that it's not enough to be baked into the phone. They want to be in the game, they want to have their own phone. Maybe. Because in 2025, they buy IO Products hardware startup from legendary Apple ex designer Johnny Ive for $6.4 billion. So now this company that Apple is cozy with is hiring hardware people. And a lot of them. And not just a lot of them, but Apple is alleging that they've hired hundreds of ex-Apple employees. Like more than 400 ex-Apple employees, which, is fine. This happens a lot, especially in that space. But I think Apple has a problem with specifically two of those hires and what they brought with them. So, hire number one, Tang Tan, ex Apple VP, who worked on the iPhone and the Apple Watch, who is now OpenAI's chief hardware officer. Apple alleges that he would get potential job candidates who worked at Apple and have them bring actual parts in for a show and tell, and then also use verbiage, like internal verbiage or code names that they would use at Apple, because, ex Apple VP, to get more information out of them, which isn't even the craziest part. The craziest part is that they allege that he would pass around Apple's offboarding documents to teach new OpenAI hires how to dodge Apple's exit security checks. So, hire number two, Cheng Liu, 8 years at Apple as a senior electrical engineer. Apple says that he found a bug that led him into their network storage. But if you start putting things together, you find out really quickly, there's no CVEs anywhere, nobody's saying nothing like that. This seems like an access control issue, and when he was supposed to be deprovisioned, he probably wasn't and still had that access. Like, Liu's own message doesn't read off like he's exploiting CVEs out here. It really seems like he stumbled onto it. Like, he says, lol, I found out I can access the network storage. So funny, haha. That doesn't really seem to me like CVE exploiter. But that is where Apple alleges that he stole those 1,000 pages, including presentation spreadsheets, PDFs, and work product. My thing is that at a company like this, how does that happen and no alarms go off? Like, you'd think they'd have some sort of DLP in place for stuff like this. Like, I doubt that this is the first time that this has ever happened. Like, I don't understand. Not only that, but they have the monitoring in place. Like, they were able to point back and go, hey, that guy stole 1,000 files. Here's what he stole. So, from my perspective, they had all the tools, just no alerting in place, which is kind of crazy for a company at that size. But let's talk about the timing of this, because it's not great timing for OpenAI. I mean, they're about to IPO, record IPO. They're making this hardware push, and now they have this like cloud, this weird trade secret debacle when they're trying to ask people, hey, hey guys, trust me with your money, please. With a lot of your money, please. And apparently, this suit is new to me and you, but it's not new to OpenAI because Apple alleges that they sent this in February. And you know what they got from OpenAI? Nothing. No response. So now it's it's an official lawsuit. So let's talk technical takeaways. Number one, just how important it is to have solid deprovisioning models in place. I mean, you could have really avoided a lot of this with just that. Second, alerting. If you have the logs, you've already got the monitoring in place, you need to be alerted for stuff like this. I mean, I'm sure that they're doing that now, I hope. If you're gonna go out of your way and sue somebody over it, I hope that you put the alerting in place after the fact. And then lastly, as far as the code names and pulling extra information and going and bringing extra or actual parts into a job interview, I think there needs to be some kind of awareness program behind, hey, this is the stuff we share out of the office and this is the stuff we don't share out of the office. And I'm not saying that Apple doesn't do that, but I mean, if this is a long running thing, then maybe they should look into trying that out a bit more. So what do you guys think? Corporate espionage or messy talent war? I probably land somewhere in the middle. Really, what I'm looking forward to is seeing how OpenAI responds and, what they have to say. Again, I do want to mention that at the time of recording, this is all alleged. We've only heard half the story, and all of that comes from Apple. So we'll have to wait to see how Apple's proof really holds up, how it holds up in court, and, what they decide on that. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.